This year, I joined a Secret Santa artist collab here on YouTube, and let's just say things got interesting. Things are gonna get weird. They poop and they eat through their eye, okay? My package came. Wait. I am about to get emotional. More on all of that good stuff later, but first, I'd like to preface this video by saying it's going to feel chaotic. Mistakes were made, confusion was had. Basically, what you're about to see is my smorgasbord attempt at salvaging this project. All right, obviously, first thing I need to do is disclose who I got, because if I didn't, that would be kind of confusing. You know what would be even more confusing? Not explaining the collab that you're a part of, but that's what I did. I'm gonna fix that now. Hi, my name is Rizzy, and I run the channel that you're currently watching, Goobish Scoops. This year, I found myself face to face with the opportunity to join in on a Secret Santa artist collab, so I took the opportunity. Myself not included, there are 17 other artists who have also joined in on this collab, and here are their beautiful faces. It's your basic Secret Santa gift exchange, but since we're all artists, instead of purchasing a gift for each other, we are going to make something for each other. In this video, I will be creating the gift for my recipient, as well as opening and reacting to the gift I received at the end. In the description, you will find a collab link with all of our videos on it. There's also going to be individual channel links for everyone involved, so you can go watch their other videos. That's all I have for now, so I'm going to turn it back over to Video Rizzy. So without further ado, my person is Katelyn McKay. I'm not sure if I got the pronunciation of the last name right, so if I didn't, I'm so sorry. All of the artists who are involved in this collab had to answer a series of questions on a survey so we could know kind of what to make for each other. So between all of Katelyn's survey answers and my daily peeping on her Instagram, I have come up with a list of things that describe Katelyn and all the things that she's all about. First, we have dogs. She is a huge lover of dogs and even has 3 dogs of her own, but we'll get into those later. Number 2, we have dark and moody as opposed to bright and bubbly. Cool. Number 3, monsters, more so monster mashes. She has an ongoing series that she does called Monster Mash. Sometimes she uses animals and insects, sometimes she uses random emojis, sometimes she uses biomes where different animals survive, and she will take things from those and just create a monster out of all of them. It's really cool, and everything that she draws is just, it's so perfect. Like, it's spot on. It's good. It's good, okay? It's good. Number 4 on my list is secondary colors. Her favorite colors are orange, green, and purple. I thought that was really funny because my favorite colors are literally the primary colors, red, blue, and yellow. Look. Primary colors. Number 5 on the list is stories. I thought that went really well because I make a lot of stories for my artwork because I never know what to say for my voiceover, so I just start scooting stories into there. So she likes stories, I like stories. We're gonna make a story. Number 6, I made a note that she was very loving and caring, and that will make its way into the story and the artwork. You'll see later. And finally, for number 7 on my list, we had to choose out of cute, beautiful, and weird, and Katelyn chose weird, so things are gonna get weird. You guys remember like 2 minutes ago when I said,
mistakes were made, confusion was had.
This is the mistaken question. Let us rewind to when I initially joined the collab. It was around September when I first got the invitation to join, and of course, being a smaller creator, I was stoked, so I said, count me in, only to immediately be bombarded with thoughts of,
what were you thinking? You can't do this.
You're not a real artist. What are you even going to make? But lucky for me, I had been recently binge watching a clay-making YouTube channel called North of the Border. So that's when my I can professionally do anything, even though I never tried it, brain kicked in, and I thought to myself, I can do that. I don't know if it was out of desperation for an idea or just straight up insanity, but I took advice from my sketchbook stickers and said, being Delulu is the Salulu. I scoured Katelyn's Instagram and I realized that she's into getting buff, she's into dogs, so boom, I had it. I was gonna make a figure of a buff dog lifting weights. And as you can see, this did not go as planned. So now that I got the delusion out of my system and had a reality check that severely humbled me, I came up with a new idea. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I wanna do something digital, not digital as in sending her a PDF form of it when it's finished. I wanna get it printed out when it's finished. I'm fairly new to all of this, so I don't have a shop of my own. Because of that, I don't make high quality art prints and stickers and anything like that of my artwork. So I want to draw something digitally and get it professionally printed so she can have a really, really nice piece. I hope she likes it. I'm a little nervous. And nervous I remained, but I prevailed. Did I set the camera up and film the entire process of the drawing in the ways that a proper creator would? No, my head kept getting in the way and I was stressed out. What I did do was screen record the process while I sat on the couch and stressed through as I watched TV. Not to fear though, because I did end up getting some quote unquote proper footage of me coloring the piece. For the parts of the process that I was drawing on the couch and screen recording, I will insert reenactment footage of that. And when it comes to the parts that I was recording properly, you'll see that footage. Just keep watching, it'll make sense. Okay, so Katelyn has 3 dogs, Coda, Kenshin, and Elsa. They are adorable Shiba Inus, and she freaking loves these dogs. So it only made sense for me to draw her dog specifically. She has an entire Instagram highlight dedicated to pictures and videos of them, so that's where I went to study their behavior for their personalities. As you can see, I turned them into anthropomorphic sword-carrying dogs, and that is because they are on something called the MRAP team. You can also call it the MRAP, but it stands for Monster Rescue and Protection. Now, let's meet the gang. First up, we have Elsa. She's charming and has a very sweet spot in her heart for all the monsters that the team rescues. As I was watching the Instagram stories of Elsa, she just put off a very demure, sweet vibe. There's one picture in particular where Elsa's cozied up under the Christmas tree, and Katelyn said that she's been doing that every single year since they got her. So, I mean, that just read sweet and sensitive to me. I also have her character pegged as kind of fearful sometimes, and I say this because there's a series of stories where Katelyn introduces a Roomba into the house, and while both Coda and Elsa are initially fearful of it, Coda seems to kind of overcome that, but Elsa is horrified. It's so funny and so sad at the same time, but I've never seen a dog this scared of something before, and Elsa is just terrified of it. At the end of the day though, no matter how fearful Elsa can get, she always pulls through for the mission. She loves what she does. Saving monsters has become her greatest thing in life. Now moving on to Kenshin. I have Kenshin pegged as a ball of chaotic energy. He's the youngest of all the 3 and was introduced to the family when he was just a puppy and the other 2 were adults already. So he has that puppy zoomy energy. His character is very hyper and sure of himself, and yes, this can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. With being the hyper little baby of the group, he oftentimes gets impatient. This can manifest in him rushing into missions sometimes without a plan, and I will give it to him, he's oftentimes successful with this. But when you're on a team, you have to put yourself aside and realize that it's not just you are on a team. Kenshin is the type that would like to believe that he was the leader of the team, even though Coda and Elsa would say completely different. Last but certainly not least, we have Coda. Coda is a massive foodie. There are so many stories on Katelyn's Instagram that highlight Coda and his love for food, so he's a chonky boy. There's one story in particular where Katelyn's giving the dogs Thanksgiving food, but it's too hot, so she sits it on the counter, and Coda is just barking at her, just giving it to her because he wants this food right now. I've also seen him just completely sprawled out and napping, so from that I take that Coda is a foodie who loves to nap. I didn't end up drawing this, but his character carries a satchel full of snacks that he's constantly pulling from. His character is also rather clumsy and tends to be a help to the team completely by accident, and there will be an example of that later in the story. But with that being said, that's the team introduced, and now we're going to be moving into some monsters. For the main monster, I thought it only fitting to follow in Katelyn's footsteps and try my own version of a monster mash. And I know he doesn't look like much right now, but just bear with me, give me a chance. I was very nervous about drawing a monster because that's not what I typically draw, but I was like, this is Katelyn, you have to come through with the monster. So with that being said, let's get into this mashup. I chose to mix a bear, an axolotl, and a bat. He is called the Baxel Bear. I gave him the general build of a bear, teeth and nose of a bat, and gills and tail of an axolotl. He also has the hands of an axolotl, and for his feet, I don't really know what those are. They were kind of just whatever I wanted to draw. These guys can be anywhere from 8 to 12 feet tall depending on the age of the creature. They also can be upward of 12,000 pounds. They live between the water and the land. From what I've read, axolotls can survive outside of water for small periods of time, but since this one is mixed with a bear and a bat, it can live outside of the water for even longer periods of time too. Now let me introduce you to some of the minor monsters. Starting with a creature known as the Hollow Howler. This guy is it's hard for me to say this word, arachnid. I don't know why it's hard for me to say that word, but he's that type of monster. He has very shiny, leathery red skin, 7 eyes, and a hollowed out body. That's where he gets the name the Hollow Howler from. The howler part comes in because when wind whips through his hollow body, it makes a very loud howling sound. Next, we have the little guys known as peepers. These are small creatures with legs like spiders, just like the Hollow Howler because I was on a spider kick, but instead of having a typical spider body with multiple crazy spider eyes, they just have one eye, and that one eye is their body. They are just an eye with legs. That's a creepy monster in my opinion. You may be wondering, well, Rizzy, if they're just one big eye, then how do they eat? Fun fact, the pupil of the eye on these creatures actually acts as a mouth and the back hole. They poop and they eat through their eye, okay? When they want to eat something, the pupil just dilates and opens up and reveals a bunch of razor sharp teeth going around in a circle, and then they can just eat the thing that they want to eat. And when they have to go potty, they suck up those teeth and then the excrement comes out. I'm sorry. Next up, we have the spiky saber-toothed blub. As you can tell, I got real creative with that name. This guy is a huge blob-like creature with massive teeth and spines going down its back. In the drawing, he has an angry expression on his face, and at this point, I honestly cannot imagine him without an angry expression on his face, so I'm just gonna say he's always angry. He's always a little bit peeved about something. Maybe because he's a blob creature. I don't know. The final creature that I have a bit of a backstory on is called the Gorpling. He is a squishy slug-like monster with no brain. I was so kind to him. When I say no brain, I don't mean that he's dumb or he's just a silly guy. I mean that he legitimately has zero brain meat inside of his head. It's empty. That's why it's kind of deflated. The empty and open head of the Gorpling oftentimes attracts birds to come in and start building nests inside of their heads, and the Gorpling doesn't mind because like it likes having something up there. It can't have a brain up there, so might as well have a family of birds. It's a pretty good symbiotic relationship. I think that's what those are called. I hope so. If not, I sound stupid. The warm flaps and folds of the Gorpling's head meat makes a really good spot for bird eggs because it keeps their eggs nice and toasty. And since there's no brain, there's no pain powerhouse or pain receptors or anything, so the Gorpling doesn't feel it and just enjoys having little buddies in his head.
Now that we've covered all the basics, it's time for the moment you have been waiting for. I'm tongue-tied. It's story time.
This time I wrote everything down into a multi-page story. I typed it up, I printed it out. I took this one seriously. I mean, I take all of them seriously, but like I took this one extra seriously. Picture this. The scene opens in a misty forest. A Baxel bear roars in distress as it runs through the forest. The creature's so massive that as it runs, the ground shakes almost like an earthquake. The monster knocks into trees, sending leaves plummeting toward the ground and birds scattering across the sky. Behind him are hunters. These hunters are up to no good, and they are intending on trapping this poor Baxel bear and selling it to the highest bidder. Don't worry though, because our dog friends will not let this happen. The MRAP team was also in hot pursuit of the Baxel bear and closing in fast. Kenshin let out excited barks, Elsa looked worried, and Coda reached into his satchel for a mid-run chicken leg snack. The team caught up to the terrified monster, which grew even more panicked upon seeing their swords in hand. Elsa, being quick to notice the monster's increasing distress, called out to her teammates. Guys, we're coming in way too hot. Put your swords down. We're scaring him. Both Kenshin and Coda obliged, lowering their weapons and coming to a complete stop. The Baxel bear, now trapped in the dead end courtesy of a large mountain wall, curled in its gills, wrapped its massive armor-plated wings around its body, and sank to the ground. I know I didn't draw the massive armor-plated wings in the drawing, but I didn't actually know that he had massive armor-plated wings until I started writing the story. And I wrote the story after I did the drawing, which was backwards. I know, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Be better.
Elsa slowly approached, gently petting the monster's fur as she walked. She knelt down by the creature's side and made soft cooing sounds, hoping that it would bring some sort of comfort. Elsa always operated under the guiding principles of first gaining a monster's trust before attempting transport. This alone continually kept tensions low for everyone involved. A monster that feels safe equals a safer trip home, yada yada yada, you get the point. Kenshin and Coda stood still watching Elsa work her magic when suddenly they heard the loud rumble of running feet vibrating the ground behind them. They're getting closer, Elsa, Kenshin howled impatiently. We have to go. The Baxel bear whimpered at the sounds of the impending footsteps and squeezed itself into an even tighter ball. I need you guys to buy me some time, said Elsa. What he's doing now is his defense mechanism. We can't get him to move unless he trusts us. Oh, can you gain his trust with a steak? Shouted Coda. I have some in my satchel. Elsa turned and stared at him blankly because why are all of Coda's solutions something to do with a snack? I don't think he's in a steak kind of mood right now, Coda, she said with her paw still on the creature's curled body. Yeah. I'm trying to come up with voices for these characters and it's not working. Okay, yeah, you're probably right, Coda replied, pulling a T-bone from his bag and swallowing it in one gulp. More for me then. Kenshin, building up in anticipation for action, yanked Coda by the paw and growled, "Let's do this!" That's not how Kenshin sounds. The pair then pulled their swords back out and charged off in the direction of the hunters. Elsa watched them go, and when they were completely out of sight, gently turned back to the Baxwell Bear. "Everything's gonna be alright, big guy. I promise. I am not a voice actor." Kenshin hollered and howled with exhilaration as he and Coda approached the hunters head-on. Coda slid to his knees, allowing Kenshin to run up his back and leap into the air from his shoulders. The hunters looked up in awe as the seemingly flying Kenshin rained down on them from above. Coda, on the other hand, took that moment to grab a string of sausages from his satchel and happily chow down. Kenshin laughed as one by one he brought the group of hunters to their knees, all begging for mercy. His glory was short-lived though, as he soon found himself sandwiched between two hunters who looked rather fed up with how the evening was panning out. "Look, guys, I don't want to hurt you. Why don't you just let us collect the monster and then we'll get out of your hair?" That's what Kenshin's saying to the hunters as he's walking back slowly with his paws up. It didn't work though, because the hunters exchanged glances, grunted, and charged at Kenshin anyway. Kenshin ducked just in time to avoid a wildly swung pitchfork. While on the ground, he grabbed one of the hunters by the foot and pulled, causing him to come crashing to the earth. The smug dog slid over and pushed all of his weight down onto the toppled man's chest while yelling, "Coda! Got one coming your way!" Why do I make Kenshin sound like that? I don't know. He then kicked the second hunter in Coda's direction. Coda, still face deep in a string of sausages, didn't hear the warning though. Instead, he stood up and stretched his arms out wide, sausage still in hand. The hunter stumbled past Coda but was abruptly yanked back by none other than a slippery string of sausage that accidentally wrapped around his neck. Accidental hero. Coda, having misplaced his sword in the midst of the chaos, grabbed another string of sausages from his satchel and proceeded to use them as if they were meaty, sausage-scented nunchucks. He slapped the hunter in rapid succession, increasing force with every hit until the battered man finally surrendered. Coda then used the remaining sausage rope to tie the whimpering hunter to a tree. "Looks like we got 'em all," Kenshin said, approaching Coda as he tied his final meat knot. Coda then turned around to see a forest floor littered with unconscious, tied-up hunters. Kenshin stood by proudly, his tail wagging faster than Coda had ever seen. "Whoa, you weren't messing around, Kenshin," Coda said in amazement. "But we should really get back to Elsa. She might need our help." The pair turned and walked back toward Elsa, Coda stopping by his tied-up opponent to grab one more sausage for the road, of course. When they returned, they were greeted by the sight of a now confidently standing Baxwell Bear and a giddy Elsa sitting at the monster's feet. "Well, that didn't take very long," Elsa said. "How long do we have until they're on our tails again?" We can take our time," Kenshin replied. "Those guys are a little tied up at the moment." He shot a knowing smile at Coda, who was too busy to notice because he was currently face deep in his satchel looking for his next snack. "It looks like you've had quite a bit of luck here yourself too, Elsa." Why do I keep making him sound like a mafia gang lord? You know what? I can't get it out of my head, so now that's what Kenshin sounds like. That's gonna be his voice. "It looks like you've had quite a bit of luck here yourself, Elsa," Kenshin said, turning back to the beaming dog and her massive new monster friend. "It was more skill than luck," Elsa said, rolling her eyes at Kenshin. "These paws have the magic monster touch, I'll have you know." "Now let's get going," she said, patting the Baxwell Bear tenderly. "I'm pretty sure Muffin here is ready to get someplace safe." "Did someone say there was gonna be muffins?" Coda yelled out in pure delight. "Coda!" Both Kenshin and Elsa groaned in unison. All right, I'm going," Coda replied. The team then worked together to guide the Baxwell Bear through the forest and back to their mission hovercraft. As they set course for home, Kenshin paced the deck. "Another successful mission," he beamed with his tail wagging. Elsa leaned against the railing, watching the Baxwell Bear settle in for a calm sleep. "I couldn't agree more," she said, sending a warm smile in Kenshin's direction. Coda, reclining in his chair with a bag of snacks, chimed in. "Yeah, we were great. And I still have time for a nap before the next one. Wake me when we get there." Kenshin and Elsa laughed before making their way to their own seats so they could strap in for takeoff. High above the forest, Elsa looked out her window and thought to herself, "We may be an odd team, but as long as our paws are still kicking, we won't stop until every monster is safe." The end. That's all I have. That's all of it.
We're ready.
Now Katelyn's gift is off to her. If you want to see her reaction to it, there's going to be a link at the end of this video as well as in the description. Now it's time to open my gift.
Okay, so my package came. I'm gonna have to attach the mic to my sweater, so if my audio starts sounding weird, sorry. So my gifter was the Cassie Projects, as you can see by her cute little sticker. Can you see it? It's not focused. Her cute little sticker. I actually recently did a video where I reviewed Cassie's art prompt book. It's right over here. This is her art advent calendar. This is her face. Had a fun time with that, so I'm very excited to see what she made. Okay. I'm so excited. If I could just learn how to use scissors. You packed this really good, Cassie. Aww, I see little extra treats already. Okay, we got some proper British treats. I'm gonna have these, I'm gonna taste these. Never had British treats before, so I'm gonna grab the extras out before I grab out the main gift from the middle. We have a little note that I'll read in a second. Some wait, are these stickers? Stickers? I have an obsession with stickers. I have a whole drawer full of stickers. I love stickers. Little Yoda and a little hedgehog with headphones. It looks like an onion. Wait. I'm gonna open this because that looks like an onion sticker. It's a little axolotl ice cream. I just did the axolotl, so the axolotl ice cream, that helps. It says Reezy. Oh, I did not expect that. Oh, it's a customized sticker. Oh my gosh. Little Yoda. Oh my gosh. He's a little onion. That's so cute. That's so cute. I'm so glad I opened the stickers on camera. Okay, then we have a print. Little botanical print. I have a minor obsession with houseplants that is beginning to form, so I have all my little houseplants just sitting around me, so I love that. Oh, that is so cute. This is going directly on my little gallery wall here. Right there. I feel special. Okay, now let's open the main little gift. I hoard things, so I'm keeping the ribbon. I'm not gonna cut it. Okay, bubble wrap. It's an octopus. It's an octopus. It's a little octopus. Oh my gosh. I am about to get emotional. This is so personalized. There's the box with an octopus on it. I love the giant Pacific octopus. I think that's the name of it. My mind is everywhere right now. And it's filled with little things that are, I can't even think of the word, the things that are special to me. There's a little mini everything binder with a mini SpongeBob on it. I used to have an everything binder when I was younger. When I first started drawing, I put a bunch of pieces of paper in a binder and I called it my everything binder, and I drew SpongeBob and I drew random pictures from anime books and I just drew a lot of stuff and I called it my everything. Oh. That is so cute. Okay, we have the everything binder, a little Christmas coffee. I'm trying to focus on everything. I'll get better looks of it later. Hazelnut coffee is my favorite coffee, and I recently got into drinking coffee all the time. We have a house plant. Yeah, she knows that I like house plants. We have an orange kitty cat. I used to have an orange cat named Theodore, and cats are my favorite animal. I know I have 2 gerbils and not cats, but cats are my favorite animal. And then lastly, she even got the tonight dough. My favorite type of food is dessert. My favorite dessert is ice cream. My favorite ice cream is the tonight dough from, I'm forgetting the brand, Ben & Jerry's. And she even made a miniature little tonight dough ice cream. And on the inside, there is a little spot for everything to go. How freaking cute. And then her name at the bottom. It's upside down. I had it upside down, sorry. And her name at the bottom. Look at the little face. Genuinely, I did not expect it to be this personalized. I know the whole thing is making a personalized gift for your person, but I did not expect it to be this personalized. Oh my gosh, this is adorable. Thank you, Cassie. Oh my gosh. Also, I got my husband to design a little display stand for it. He printed it for me and now it's on display on my stand. If you made it to this point in the video, I thank you so much for watching. Make sure you use the collab link in the description below to watch both Katelyn's and Cassie's videos, as well as all the other artists who are a part of this collab. Before you do though, you should know that even though it's December 13th today, and that's when I posted my video and some of the other artists posted their videos, all the videos won't officially be up until December 15th. This collab does contain artists all over the world in different time zones and with different posting schedules, so between the 13th and the 15th is when all the videos will be added to the playlist. So if you don't see a specific video that you're looking for, just check back on the 14th and 15th. With that being said, I hope you have a very good rest of your day. I hope you have a very good holiday, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!
If you're curious as to what I was drawing in the reenactment footage, here it is.